Good afternoon. So I'd like to just start off here with the main home screen. A couple things I'd like to mention is that the home page, it lacks flavor. There's very little color and there's nothing in particular that really grabs your attention. One thing I'd suggest including would be to add a video or cover photo for the website that is the first thing that the user will see. It gives them right away a great sense of what vibe your company is giving off, and this one in particular, vintage. One thing I'd advise removing would be these products at the front here. There's a separate tab dedicated specifically to the clothing items, and it just adds to the clutteriness of the home screen. One other thing that I'd add would be a little map that shows where your store is located in Kitchener, along with a little description. So moving on to the online store part of the website. When you click it, it has this drop-down menu. Personally, I think this drop-down menu is way too cluttered. It has headers along with subheaders. These subheaders do not need to be there. It would be way more cleaner if it was just the headers and you could click on each individual category and you'd get taken to the specific page. One thing I noticed is that all of these except for sale take you to the exact same page. If you only have one screen for the website, then there is no need for this drop-down menu at all. You could just have the online store be a button that just takes you to the screen. The sale portion has its own screen, so you could opt to have two, or you could decide to separate the clothing into its categories. In the items portion of the website, a couple things come to mind is that the photos of the products are taken with a pretty ugly background. The background is way too cluttered for a product photo, especially if the clothing item has a unique pattern. The background, it just takes away from the clothing item and it distracts you, so I'd advise you replace that with either a solid color background or something more minimalistic, like just a brick wall or a hardwood floor, for example. Also, the text here, it's left justified, and you can see that the margins are a bit off. I'd say since the majority of the website is center justified, I'd center that up with the image and along with fixing the margins so that it lines up evenly with the image. When you scroll down, you will see that you see the same Instagram photos and description of the website as you saw on the home screen. Since it is already on the home screen, it does not need to be in the online store portion of the website, as it's just repetitive. And moving on to consignment. For this page of the website, there's a lot of text, very little imagery. There's one at the start, so I'd say to have this page be a bit more interesting and appealing to the audience, include more photos, include a bit more color. I noticed that the button here is blue and all the other buttons on the website here are blue. Your color scheme is green, so I'd stick with the green color scheme. Moving on to the schedule an appointment. This page is pretty well done. It's simple, straight to the point, easy to navigate. However, one thing I'd change would be, again, everything center justified except for this text. I'd center this up. It would make it look a lot more clean, along with changing these button colors to green. Again, it would flow better with the website. And lastly, this Waterloo store. I personally don't think it needs to be even included as its own separate tab. This can just be added to the home screen at the bottom. It would be nice to have a map of the location of the store. And one more thing is that if you scroll down to the bottom, you see the quick links here. There is an about. This about quick link, I'd recommend you put it as your own tab. It would just give the user a quick and easy way to find out a bit more about your store and what it's all about. And in the about section, I see that it mentions that you are built by students for students, so that ties back. You are targeting yourself towards young adults and late teenagers. For this reason, I'd make your website a lot more friendly, a lot more colorful. Right now it's super formal with its grid layout. Play around with the colors, play around with the image and videos, stick to a good color scheme. Lastly, about the color, right now you have this pretty strong green. Since you're a vintage clothing store, I'd recommend it could be nice to maybe have this green a bit more faded and washed out. Along with the white, you could have it be a slightly off-white. It might just tie in a bit more again to the vintage aspect. And the last thing here is that the reviews and testimonials button takes you to a screen which is non-existent. This may either be a bug or B, just unfinished. I'd have a look at that, finish up this page, get some reviews in. It'd really add to your business and overall just enhance the website. Thanks.